Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're taking a look here at HBAR, seeing what's going on. It's been a little while since I covered this here, so we're just going to go ahead and jump into kind of the macro perspective first and just get an idea of what's going on. We'll dive into some back-end liquidation data and then obviously help understand best practice and big picture for this. So I wanted to say thank you again to Truth for the request here. Haven't touched on HBAR in a while, and it's actually kind of been trying to circle back around to because we're getting close to this low zone, basically this sell side liquidity. And when you have an area like that, a lot of times it's going to be swept first, but there's a strong pivot that typically occurs there. We can see a pretty consistent amount of candlestick closures down there. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to kind of start with drawing out some trend lines here and kind of see what's going on, because you can kind of recognize there's been a lot of candlestick closures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks roughly where they've tried to break below this level but haven't yet. Keep in mind, there's a stronger chance that could happen because of it, but we're just going to go ahead and pay attention to that area there and kind of see what's going on. And then we'll back into data here, kind of take a look here as well at liquidation. So if you're new to the channel, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you've been watching for a long time, thank you even more for being an amazing part of my life. I have members that have been with me for over 3 years, almost coming up on 4 years now. It's really awesome. So thank you so much for the awesome support. You can show your support by hitting the like button down below, and we'll see what we can do here to help you out. So again, got a Trading Academy community signals group, CryptoCache.tech if you're curious on becoming a better trader. So here's what we're going to do. Looking at the liquidation levels first on HBAR, we can see there's kind of a spread. There is more to the downside than the upside, especially if you zoom out to the monthly here. So to make it clear and transparent, there is millions of dollars down as low as 4 cents even as a close approximate. So 4 to 4.75 is that area of liquidation. Not a lot to the upside. Now it doesn't mean that the price just goes instantly to that direction, but just know it kind of works like a magnet until those levels are swept. So I wouldn't be surprised if HBAR has more propensity to continue lower. We're also going to kind of look at the combination, or more so like the pairing from Bitcoin to HBAR, and see which of these coins are performing better or worse. A lot of times altcoins will align themselves poorly with Bitcoin and move down 2x of Bitcoin and only up like a half when Bitcoin continues higher. So okay, just some things to kind of be mindful of. We'll take a look at that. So quickly to note here, I can see there's any trend lines here. A lot of times when you draw out trend lines, you want to run concurrent with the moving averages. Let's look at the daily rather and see if we can find one. We can see the 50-day SMA kind of giving us somewhat of a trend, so we'll kind of just pay attention to that one. Keep in mind when you draw out trend lines, folks, they're never exact. It's not like an exact science. So don't think that this line is like the the one line to rule them all, right? There's definitely a lot more to trading than trend lines, but the trend lines really give you perspective on what's going on. You can kind of visually see a representation there. So if we take a look at the daily time frame, let's go ahead and note we're under all of the important levels here. In other words, we can see the MACD is diverging, RSI is under 50, money flow index pulling back. The only thing helping us is the stochastic RSI letting us know we have a shift of momentum. Keep in mind the stochastic RSI is an area in which you don't want to just solely base your trades on. Well, let me go ahead and close the door here 1 sec. All right, so what we want to do here though is just recognize that stochastic RSI is one of those things that just kind of gives us a little heads up on what's going on. It's nothing super crazy. You don't want to base your trade off of it, but most other coins right now, including Bitcoin, is printing a stochastic RSI swing to the upside. In fact, you combine this, you kind of look at these two charts here. These aren't the charts exactly, but these are like their oscillators. They're both very, very similar. Okay, so we can see that HBAR is moving down as well as Bitcoin, but obviously we can see a pretty strong pullback for HBAR versus Bitcoin. So when you see these kind of things here, you can recognize that it's probably not a good idea to consider a long position, and you'll likely find more success going down than up. Again, just kind of an overview, just kind of a general idea of what to look for. Okay. Once more, there's never an exact science when it comes to this. And once more, also, too, if you're not familiar, I have a Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. It looks a little something like this, where I provide playout charts for coins that I cover. I'm going to post our playout chart for HBAR on there, and just know that I'll clean up the charts here and give us a little bit more specifics. But for the moment, what we can do is kind of base our current analysis here on basically the local fibs. We can see 0.618 working as a resistance, and just generally kind of understand where it could go next using these. It's somewhat of a predictive indicator. We take a look at the 4-hour time frame. We can see stochastic RSI swinging down, money flow index is increasing, and RSI is under 50. regardless of money flow index increasing, keep in mind it looks at the last 14 candles. It tells us we have more volume coming into this coin in the last 2 trading days roughly. So what that basically just means is that there is potential sustainability here at this 0.786 fib level at about 4.87. Now you got to keep in mind there's a lot of liquidation down as low as 4.75. So the price doesn't end up pulling back. We could very well see liquidity sweep to this lower level there to kind of hit that little area. We might see about a 5% reduction in value. Once more though, the bottom could be in. We don't want to kind of rule that out yet. So just kind of be patient. It's probably the best way to go. But if we look at Bitcoin here, it is providing us with a inverse head and shoulders pattern. There's a decent chance we could see a relief rally here for HBAR. However, you got to recognize too, HBAR is dumping pretty hard, contrary to Bitcoin. And I think that there's a strong chance that HBAR pulls back based on that sentiment. We're below all moving averages. Again, we compare that with Bitcoin, it's the same scenario. So don't think that I'm picking on HBAR at all. But you can just kind of see how poorly it's recovering when Bitcoin is doing a bit better, okay? So that leads me to believe we still have more potential for further downside. Ichimoku Cloud, we combine that to kind of look at this here. We are testing the lower lead. Lag and span is free and clear. Conversion line is below the baseline. We're a couple of hours away, basically a few hours away, from confirming that a short position might be viable, especially if Bitcoin continues lower. This could be a good little hedge for us here, potentially, just based on the way that things are progressing. So while this is not perfect and there's no such thing as a perfect trade, this coin has more propensity to pull back than it does to increase. It's having difficulty establishing higher highs until it closes above this 5.16 mark, or basically 5.16 cents. We're not going to have a chance or leg to stand on. So again, I would say if the price continues higher, boom, it comes up to that, you could consider a long up to that level, but you look at how poorly HBAR has been doing in the last 3 hours, and you compare that with Bitcoin, it's just not a good fit, right? There's just a lot here kind of telling us that further downside makes a lot more sense. So me personally, I'm leaning more towards a short than a long with HBAR at this point. It doesn't look good. An invalidation of the short would be a closure above 5.16. Again, I'll provide that in our trade alerts channel. If you're a part of our community, you'll know that these are trade alerts that I provide to you, just kind of giving you a heads up on coins I'm looking to take trades with. And HBAR does look like a coin I'd be considering a short with. So just got to be careful, folks. Again, this is a kind of a messy market for the moment, so not a lot of great opportunities. I would say this is not a phenomenal opportunity, but it is seemingly a better coin to consider a short with than majority of the other ones. All right, so again, probably best just to wait the day out, see if the candlestick closes on the daily positively. First, again, for Bitcoin, if we close over 58K for Bitcoin, we might actually see the price continue higher. At this point, though, I don't have a lot of faith in HBAR. No offense if this is like your favorite coin. All right, thanks again for the request, Truth. Appreciate you. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Don't forget to like the video. Help you have a great rest of your day. Take care.